lost about 10,000 officers in the space of about a year and a half. Let's speak to the head of Crime and Justice Policy Exchange, David Spencer. David, we find ourselves in an interesting predicament where we are losing numbers in terms of the force and police officers, and now we are having to really prioritise, and it could be at the expense of our own sort of local policing. Is there anything our police can do? Is there any way we can... I thought we had riot police and different police for different things. What has gone on for us to have such depleting numbers of police officers?
Well, it's fair to say we are in a bit of a perfect storm as we approach the middle of the summer. So over the last year, we've seen that we have 1,500 fewer police officers nationally than we did before. We've seen, as your colleague was just saying, 20% increase in shoplifting, 31% increase in fraud, 50% increase in robbery against businesses. So we've seen sort of local, what we might call local crime rates increase over the last year. And then, of course, we're dealing with these protests, this potential for disorder at the same time as well. So we are really confronting a perfect storm. The reality of policing, and it was always been like this, is that there is no new box of police officers, no sort of freshly minted new box to be brought out for things like public order policing. It is the same police officers, and always has been, who are dealing with the shoplifters and the drug dealers and the robbers. It's the same people, the same police officers in uniform that are doing that as are going to be called in to deal with public order matters as well. Actually, there are a very, very small number of the most senior sort of public order officers, trained officers, for example, in London, those number in their hundreds, who are dedicated primarily to public order duties. The reality is, in almost every case, it is officers who should be doing other things who'll be asked to go and police this demonstration, these protests all over the country.
Do you think that this is... I don't... Like, when I hear this, I think, yeah, OK, we've got lots of protests going on, but I can remember when every Saturday or every weekend we had a pro-Palestine march, not only in London, but in lots of parts of the country, and we coped then. Do you feel that perhaps they are kind of spinning this a bit more because of what the protest is about? Because it seems to me we had, although the police were taken from other parts and deployed to police these marches, we still had apparently enough police, or nobody was really saying too much about the fact that we're starving our police in other areas of this country. Or were they? Did I miss something?
I'm not sure. I think we certainly at Policy Exchange, when we looked at this, we looked in detail actually about a whole range of the sort of legal and operational challenges around policing protests. And this is one of the points that we made, is actually both for those large-scale Palestine protests and also the protests that we're looking at now, the demonstrations we're looking at now. Actually, we are always looking at taking officers away from their normal local duties, and that inevitably has an impact on them. I think the big challenge that we're looking at this year is whether or not things have changed from last year. So you'll remember after the protests and demonstrations, the disorder that happened last year, the government talked about increasing sort of better tactical coordination, better intelligence, and that was something that they talked about a lot during the summer and after the summer last year, following the disorder then. The question will be whether a year down the line, whether that has been put in place and whether that is the case. Senior police chiefs who I've spoken to say they are ready. The proof will be in the pudding as we go through this year if there are further instances of disorder. But certainly the police say they're ready. And a year ago, the government said these were the steps they're going to put in place. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we will indeed. Thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. That's David Spencer. He's the head of Crime and Justice at the Policy Exchange.